Like it's funny because it's like one week I'm like, yeah, hey, we can do this. We can let's look at it on the bright side. Let's knuckle down and let's do this and that. Then the next week I'm literally not responding because I'm so depressed. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I kind of like I think it's a coping mechanism to kind of just like isolate myself when things are not really going to plan. So I'm not really, and that's something I definitely need to work on, like making sure that I'm still not reachable, but like especially to people that you care about, like you never know what they're going through. That's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot. You never know what the other person is going through. So if you're being kind of selfish, obviously you have to put yourself first. Like if you're not going to put yourself first, no one will. But at the same time, it's important to be mindful for the people around you because they might really need you respond to them right now, and you might be the only person they can talk to about certain things. And if you're not going to be there, then that can lead to other things. And again, I still maintain that the number one priority is putting your own health, well-being, and mental health first. But there's a point where it can be selfish, and I think I do that a little bit. Like I'm a bit selfish with my time, and that's something I can work on. So to answer your question, I'm just living right now. I'm just existing, trying to find happiness in the moment, trying to find purpose, trying to build routine, build discipline in my day to day. Yeah, trying to find love. But that I think that can wait for a little bit. As much as I'd want that ASAP, but I think that needs to be on the back burner for now. Yeah, just trying to deal with life, just life is life in right now.
It's so funny, and I know I've mentioned this to you before, but it's like I feel like we are going through a lot of similar things, being in such different places, but
Mm.
so connected as well at the same time. Like I'm going through these things, fighting with the definitely the issue of the routine. Um, trying to keep everything on track, even
Yeah,
when everything feels so chaotic, but it's more in the mind than anything. We're more making it so difficult and chaotic in our minds.
yeah,
And as well, I completely understand with the communication. People who know me know that I'm like that, and I think that I have a habit of reaching out to people because I want to know that they're okay more than I necessarily want to engage in conversation, or maybe for a moment I feel like I want to engage in conversation,
yeah. That's it.
but then that moment passes sometimes within minutes. If
Yep.
it seems to be, people could respond to me straight away, and it's like, okay, well, I've received a response. I know they're okay. I'll get back to them.
Whenever you can, yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that whenever you can is like, sometimes maybe it is some kind of cry for help on our own behalf. It could be, but sometimes it doesn't feel like the right moment to talk. I just want to throw something out. You're all good. Okay, we're
yeah.
good. You know.
See, I should. That just the person that comes to mind when you say that is Lorena, and I I hope she watches this. Her name I will say because I do hope she watches it. And
You think
if,
she's going to understand?
yeah, even if she can't understand, I still plan to message her. I think about Lorena so much because she was one of my favorite people that we met in Colombia, and I still haven't messaged her since we've been back. I said what, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm gonna message her. I'm gonna message her. I just didn't do it. Do you know why I didn't do it that time though? Because Colombia had just lost the Copa America final. And I knew that that whole town, that whole city was reeling. You know, it was so funny. Both of them posted like where they were for the game or like in preparation for the game. Say, vamos, Colombia. After the game, radio silence on that Instagram. I could just, and you know how they love their sports down there, and me being such a football fan as well. Like I really wanted Colombia to win. That hurt me. I'm not even Colombian, but that like I was actually upset for them. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe now's not the best time to message. I said, okay, if I don't message her before, because I was gonna message her before the game, but I was like, let me just watch it. And then after they lost, I was like, okay. And then since then, I've been thinking about her, but I still haven't done it. And that just goes back to what I'm saying. Like, that is me being a little selfish because I'm like, I keep telling myself, I just need to get right with myself before I'm extending my support to other people. And I guess that's where like even when you're in your own like head, like you were saying, at least you're reaching out to people. At least you're just making sure that they're okay. That's the least that a person can do. So I'm definitely gonna take that on board. Even if because in my head I'm like, okay, when I message Lorraine, I'm gonna be like, hey, I miss you. I've been thinking about you. I'm sorry because I know she's gonna be upset that it's taken me this long to message her. So I've been, oh, I'm sorry that, things have been going on, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole big thing. It's gonna be like a big paragraph rather than just being like, hey, are you right? How you been? Like, that's all it really takes. I know she's gonna be mad at me, but at least just to see that she's okay, like that's a good sign of friendship that I could definitely take into account. Like I can actually start implementing into my own life. But it's just all I've known for like these last few years. Like just when things are a little bit wrong, just keep it to yourself. Deal with it yourself. When you're ready, you come out your shell. It's worked for me in the past, but that doesn't mean it's the right way to go about things. So
That's
definitely some.
the thing is like there is no right or wrong way. We all have
Yeah,
our
that's
own.
true.
I I have wondered about this because I've talked about this with my therapist before about like attachment theory and
Mm,
the different types of there are supposedly like four types of attachment, and there's like I don't even remember them and I would butcher it if I tried to explain, but the one that I relate to more than anything is like avoidant attached, something like that.
yeah,
And it's not so the thing is when I'm talking about it, it sounds like I can almost justify it to myself because I talk about how when people are leaving my life, or situations change, maybe I start to put a bit of distance in between us because I know, well, you're not going to be around as much anymore, or we're not going to talk, or we're not going to see each other. So by the time that the separation actually happens, it doesn't feel like it hurts me as much because I've already kind of separated in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know. It's really there is no right or wrong way of dealing with things. I imagine you also got used to it. I don't know how many people really leave London to go to uni, for example, but I would have imagined you went through that when everyone was going off to their respective unis. For me, it is difficult to maintain relationships with people in my life if they're not close to me. And that is
mm,
very hard, as you can imagine, when I have, friends in England, friends in Australia,
yeah.
friends in South America, friends in Europe. I'm not close to I'm not physically close to the people who I consider to be in my life.
Yeah, I can definitely see how, especially because you're all over all these continents, how that could be really difficult. It does the same thing is it's kind of similar to certain situations I've dealt with, but just not on that magnitude, I guess. For me, like I put a lot of I put a lot of stock into friendships earlier in my life, so maybe up to about 5 years ago, let's say, where like friends meant so much to me because the friends that I had in my life, I really thought like were my brothers. Like we went from secondary school, like there was a bunch of us, but like about three to five of us went same secondary school, same sixth form, same university. So we didn't really have to like we were all together. We didn't really have to make friends much. Like we didn't have to go out of our way to make new friends because we were always together. But then a situation happened where like that was the first instance of me isolating myself. And that really, 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 really hurt. Like I'm still realizing that even today I think about what happened then, and that definitely plays a part into how I behave with friends these days. Because this was not like me 5 years ago. Like I think I was a lot more open. I'm very open to making new friends. I enjoy meeting new people. I like to network like we were talking about before. But I guess back then I was a bit more closed off. So maybe that's a benefit of what happened that like now I'm more open to everything, everyone. Not to say that I wasn't open to any particular type of people before. Like, I like everyone, no matter where they're from, what you do, blah blah blah. But I was just more comfortable with the people that I knew, the people I grew up with. So these days, I know that what happened back then is still playing a part in how I act now. And I can't really say if that's for the better or for the worse, but it's definitely changed. And I guess that to me, like the way I think about it now is that you shouldn't I shouldn't have put that much stock into my friends because anyone in this world can let you down. Anyone apart from God. But that's yet to come onto that. But and not I really didn't put that together. Obviously we had little skirmishes and little beefs here and there, but there was nothing that made me think about any of my friends a second time, like think of them any in a bad way until. And even what happened, it was I think it was a lack of communication is what caused the rift, but just the way that it was dealt with by those people that are cool friends, and they're still my friends now, but it's just not the same. And I think I was gonna say it's better this way, but I don't know. I don't know about that.